What are you doing?
We haven't even...
I ain't even done the thing.
We didn't make funny stuff before we started the music.
God, we were just gonna.
I had to stop the music first.
You gotta finesse it first before you just jam it in.
I went right for it.
A little
You were
variety
just
doesn't
jumping
hurt
right in.
anybody,
We're right for
though.
the hard opening.
Right.
You know, we always do a cold, soft open.
Yeah. Well, I said it wrong once,
Maybe
and
we
then
don't need to.
we
I
kept
think
it that way forever.
Soft open kind of works for me too,
Yeah,
as well.
You can't
Yeah,
just
yeah.
jump to a hard opening. That's
Right.
So, if anybody's out driving now, that's probably going to mean that they're driving after Christmas. So, that means traffic doesn't suck as bad as this year's Christmas traffic did.
What?
Hell, I don't know. No, really though, the traffic outside is.
Hey, everybody. I'm Dane Holland, and I am stuck in a web of confusion.
I'm Austin Shazam Pfeiffer, and I can't.
My name is Marcus, and I am Electric Man.
You son of a bitch. Did you pee? You made Austin piss.
No, we're good. We're good. It's not bad. It didn't break. It didn't break under bridges.
Oh, God.
Next.
Who are you?
I'm Austin Tiny Cent, and I don't know. I fucking gotta catch them all or something.
And thank you all for auto-tuning in to Nerd It Through the Grapevine, a podcast where four best friends gather weekly to talk about our favorite parts of past, present, and future nerd culture.
It's going to take me a second to recuperate from what just happened to me, and the audience doesn't know that wasn't something in post, and we're fake reacting to something that just happened to us as well. And God, Marcus,
I came prepared today, guys. I came prepared
For
today.
once.
just the boldness of that reminds me of the boldness of this article title from the New York Post. Ex-Versace model credits youthful looks to drinking his own urine.
What?
Ooh.
Pee-pee drinky? He drinky pee-pee?
I've been laughing so hard just to start this all off just because the audacity of the person who wrote this post said, he's making a splash. They couldn't help themselves. An ex-model is credited... he's crediting his youthful appearance to drinking his own urine, flushing it into his rectum, and rubbing it onto his skin.
Whoa.
The man, for real, uses his own pee-pee to both rejuvenate his skin by rubbing it on his skin. He claims that gives him a more youthful appearance. He ferments it for weeks in mason jars. And then he takes it and he inserts it through an enema and cleanses his bowels with it.
That just gave me the shivers.
Yes.
But it's working.
And that leads me to a question. Since you just peed yourself a little bit, does that mean your ding-dang doodle now looks a little younger?
I mean, apparently by that, his name is Troy Casey. And, I mean, I don't think he's 55.
Does he want this knowledge out there?
What does this man look like?
Yeah, it's just he does YouTube videos.
Hold on,
He
let me
looks
let me
55.
see Piss Face's face.
He. I mean, and I'm not trying to instantly make fun of somebody.
Is this
But
like
it's
My Strange
so-
Addiction or something?
It's so funny to me. Maybe
I've seen
I'm
somebody
not
on My
sure.
Strange Addiction that had that same thing. I
Like-
mean, I don't know how real that show is, But the same woman was doing the same thing. Like she would like even try to like use eye drops.
Yeah,
and
she had
stuff.
like one of them eye washers cups like
Yes.
from back in the day that she'd put it in. I will say, and I hate to say it, but that dude had a glorious beard.
He did.
He didn't
does-
look like someone who would like to bathe in his own pee.
But I just
That's called a fetish.
the audacity in the article itself. For the thing is, a customer at my work introduced me to this week. They had walked in and they said, "Hey, I hear you have a podcast," and I was like, "Oh, that's cool. Have you listened to it?" "No, but I think that you might be interested in knowing this." And he told me to look it up, and he described what it was, but he didn't tell me where he saw it. But then I found it, and it was glorious because it keeps getting better from there for the misuse of your body that we didn't know we were misusing it. Like this is just knowledge that I was not privy to, you know. Also, the 55-year-old says that there are claims for your health by sunning your own anal orifice.
Sunning?
I have heard of that.
Sunning.
Oh, let the sunshine into your butthole?
Hashtag butthole sunning. There's a bearded man laying on his back, knees to his chest, toes as pointed out as they can be, rectum to the sky. He's just...
That's the worst position for that.
He's just getting it all exposed. He's making sure that his delicate man flower is properly photosynthesized.
Look, I'm just saying, that's the worst position for that. Why would you not use like downward facing dog and just spread your legs? That would expose your leather bagel to the sun.
It depends on if the sun is at high noon or if you're looking at a sunrise sunset situation.
Maybe, but
'Cause-
maybe he's got very large butt lips.
What there is a quote there is a quote from him in this article, and it says, "So many pharmaceutical companies don't want to tell you that it is we as humans are the secret to health." That's what I try to teach people in everything I do. People should be scared if they're eating shitty food and doing pharmaceutical drugs. Why should they be scared? Why should they be scared to try their own urine?
This one man has the secret, and pharmaceutical companies hate him.
This one
Pee
man.
on yourself.
So, just to recap real quick. So, you need to pee on your face, ferment your pee, put it up your butthole,
So it can give you the proper cleanse.
and then dry it by exposing
dude.
your anal cavity to the sun.
Dude, I'm about to get sick.
No, but you just got to think about it in a more healthy way, though.
No.
Because
No, I don't.
Because he said, you know, he actually gave credit to him having a six-pack to him doing those urine anal butt cleanses.
Ugh.
He literally said he didn't have as well of a defined abdomen until he started doing them and his gut started cleansing itself.
He does realize that stuff you don't want inside you is coming out in your pee-pee, right?
Maybe that's just what the man wants you to believe. This dude, the thing is, though, this guy, he modeled for Versace in the 90s.
Yeah, you don't have to be a sane person to look good, though.
See, this is the reason why he's not anymore. They're like, dude, this guy's breath and face always smell like pee. He walks like his butthole is sunburnt. We don't want him to model for us anymore.
He's probably trying to like spread all this stuff
It's
Like his
Fred.
butt cheeks, yeah.
to all of his coworkers. Like, hey, you should
This
come
guy-
over. I'll show you what my routine.
This guy has 100
Spread your booty lips to the
Oh my
sun. It's
God.
awesome.
This guy has 120,000 Instagram followers who look for him for unorthodox wellness advice. Applying aged urine is the fountain of youth, and aged urine enemas are one of the ways I got my stomach so flat.
God. What? Okay, hold on.
What if he's actually right, though?
Then I don't want to be right.
This
I'd
reminds
rather
me-
be wrong.
This reminds me of that episode of South Park whenever Cartman was betting that he could put food in his butt and poop out his mouth. And they like, you can't do that. He's like, I bet I can. And and they did.
Why
Everybody,
would you want to poop out your mouth anyway?
I don't know, but they did it. It's South Park.
I bet it would taste shitty.
Oh,
Oh, get it? Because poop out his mouth.
yeah. But that's really just that was one of the highlights of my time this week was finding out that somebody like this can get attention for doing something like that. So, what are we going to do now? Well, how are we actually misusing our body?
If over 100,000 people can follow somebody that says, "Hey, you should do all kinds of stuff with your pee-pee on your own self and inside yourself," and we can't eventually end up with that many people listening to us be idiots.
Yeah,
That's not fair.
Yeah, but
well,
that's-
one of us needs to model for Versace first. That would
Tiny.
probably help. That would probably
I'll do
help.
it. I'll
Tiny,
do it.
I'm sorry.
I mean,
It's gotta be you.
if what they claim was true, they would have like a Nobel Prize.
Yeah. It'd be
Where's their
big.
Nobel Prize?
Well, first
It'd
you
be
have
real
to
big.
prove it.
Exactly.
and also,
Exactly what I mean. Prove it.
you know, the people that decide the Nobel Prize. I mean, they're just as much a part of the man.
Yeah.
The big machine, big pharma.
They're all
Sure.
part of nobility.
Okay.
They don't, and you know, I
You
don't
see my point.
I don't want to make fun of it too hard because at the same
Yeah, and I
time,
wish you'd cover it up.
I don't know if it does or does not work. Maybe,
If it did, you'd be able to demonstrate it in the lab, and they would use it.
but you can't get natural sun inside of a laboratory on your anus.
Right. And this is how I pee on my face. Ah! For science! I need a clean room to pee on my face. Ah!
I'm going to pee on my face.
Can you imagine being like, can you imagine being like your first day as a scientist at this lab? And you roll in and they're like, look, today's going to be a little crazy. And I know it's your first day, but I'm sorry.
And they
Well, what are you talking about? Well, we got a Versace model in here.
Yes.
And he's going to piss all over his face. And then he's going to take a month-old piss, funnel it up his asshole, and we're going to watch
For science.
for
And we have to-
science.
but we
and
have to
then
measure things, too.
Then later we're going on a field trip to his house to watch him like happy baby position naked. And, you know, exposing his scrum, his leather bagel, and his twigs and berries to the sunlight. That's what we're doing today for science.
And I quit.
Absolutely.
As long
I
as
don't know. I probably wouldn't quit. I would stay just to
Well,
see
yeah.
if that man did it.
Oh, absolutely.
But then I would quit.
I know I told you I was a vegan and I wanted to avoid killing the animals, but at the same time, though, I could really use a steak.
Right through the heart.
God.
I'm pretty sure watching that would make me want to brush my teeth with a revolver. just watching this man doing all this craziness. Just done with life.
That's awful. And also, Marcus is hurting over this. I just the man just giving that kind of advice. And the thing is, though, here in the South, I don't think that the neighbors would take too kindly to walking and you know it's gonna be like in the 70s for a bit, I think. So it's prime time to ruin some like family get-togethers just outside, just
Scrum bathing.
Oh my God!
Nice.
What are you doing over there?
I'm scrum bathing for my health.
I'm scrum sunning.
I heard this from Versace man.
I heard this guy that was a Versace. I'm calling the police.
I'm doing it for my health, I swear.
And the police show up. I about actually called them the police. The police show up and they see what I'm doing and they say, "Oh, you sunbunning?" like what? Yeah, that's what we all do. That's you sunbunning? I'm like, yeah.
That's how we say so fit and trim.
It's the secret to youth.
It's one thing to do it. If you want a pee-pee on you and in you, by all means, please do. But if you go around telling other people they should too, that's where we should draw a line.
And
God.
you know, I think that his motto.
This changed my life.
Yeah.
They're proselytizing to everybody. This changed my life.
And,
We need to all try it.
And every time Troy signs his name, it says Troy, smile with teeth.
I hope this isn't someone's first episode.
I hope it is.
I kind of do too.
Yeah, you're right. It really gets it set off to where anything's possible.
Like,
This
honestly,
theme is going to continue, everyone, just to let you know.
hey, as quick as the turnover rate is in the modern day workforce, people are used to drastic, sharp changes in their life, and this is one of them. Much like sunbumming is, we got to get out. We got to sunbum, and if you got a buddy while you're sunbumming, you got to get them to put an enema full of urine in your butt.
I can see the infomercial for like the instructional DVD. Like how to properly do it.
And the guy cannot stop coughing the entire time. I've discovered that the secret to eternal youth is actually putting urine in my butt.
It's probably he talks about something like the proper angle of anal to sunlight exposure is a 37.5 degrees. You don't want a full straight on to the sun. You want a slight canter. Otherwise, you run the risk of burning your biscuit. Your dirt button.
Now, everyone, happy
shan't
baby.
be burnt.
Happy baby to the sky.
But could you imagine the first time not knowing how long to do it and you burn the hell out of your dirt buttons? That has to be the worst pain.
Yeah.
That'd be, I think the key ingredient he forgot to mention to the entire thing was his psilocybin mushrooms, because you see, the man just stays high on his own supply
That
the
has to
entire
be it.
time.
Yeah.
That
And
makes it all make sense.
And it just
now.
never goes away, and he doesn't get it.
It was
He's
drugs.
Yeah, no wonder. It's great.
What if you could do a handstand and the splits at the same time?
Get it all done.
Exactly. Just
One little bacon strip.
We got to learn yoga and drink a lot of water.
I'm pretty sure that's the worst thing I've ever heard.
It leaves a bad taste in my mouth. I'm sorry for doing this to everybody, but I'm not sorry, actually.
And now I'm about to put a good taste in y'all's mouth.
I'm wide open, Tony.
Oh,
Send it
See,
to me.
We're going to go from the land of pee-pee drinking to the land of drinking something that's vaguely colored like pee-pee. And I'm talking about whiskey.
of course we would. We would do
Very
that.
dehydrated people.
Let's just throw this out here. Let's just throw it out there real
Your
quick.
pee-pee shouldn't be this dark.
If your pee-pee is the color of this whiskey, seek medical attention.
Actually, you should drink a lot more water because that means you're very dehydrated.
Yes.
Because
Like
this
me that one
whiskey
episode.
is like a honey color. So there's whiskey is a broad topic, and a lot of people don't realize that whiskey is essentially a blanket term, kind of like I drive a car. You know, you may have a Chevy or a Nissan, but I drive a car. It's very vague. All whiskeys are aged at least 4 years. They are composed of either corn, barley, rye, or wheat, or any mixture of those things. Malt means barley. So if you're drinking a single malt whiskey, you're drinking one made with barley. If you're drinking a grain whiskey, that means it's a mixture of grains. It's any and all of them. Bourbon is 51% corn, and to be a true bourbon, it's made in Bourbon, Kentucky. Anything else is bourbon style. I'm sorry. That's what it is.
Can you say that one more again?
What? The
The
real
difference?
bourbon is made in Bourbon, Kentucky.
Okay.
Anything else is bourbon style, and it is
Gotcha,
51% corn in the mash. Rye, that's 51% rye. Single malt is one type of grain aged in a barrel. Single, when it comes to whiskey, means one single distillery. That means it's made in one single place. Single grain is a single distillery with a mixture of grains. Blended malts is one distillery, 2 grains. There's a lot of weird terms in this. Irish whiskey has a percentage of unmalted barley in there. And the fun thing about that is that was originally a form of tax evasion, because in Ireland there was this big whiskey tax, and for it to be a true whiskey in Ireland, it had to be with malted barley. So a lot of the distilleries there, to get out of paying a lot of these taxes, they went, we're just going to take like a bunch of unprocessed, unmalted barley and just mix it in there. And that way we don't have to pay as much in taxes. And that's what gives Irish whiskey its own distinctive flavor.
Thank you, Jameson.
Yep, Jameson is a good example of that. Scotch whiskey, it has no E in whiskey, for one. So if you ever get a Scotch and it's a Scotch whiskey and it has an E in it, put it back on the shelf. It's not a real Scotch. Don't touch it. And if your friend gives that to you, he's not a very good friend. And Scotch whiskey is always aged in an oak barrel. And I actually brought a Scotch for all of us to try. And based on the information I've given you, it is a single blended malt Scotch.
So it's from one distillery.
Yep.
And it has multiple forms of barley? Or like
Nope.
two forms of
It
barley?
is a malt.
It's a malt.
So that means it's 51% or more barley.
Okay. I got the barley part
Yes.
right. But the double, you said double barley. What was the full name of it?
It is a single blended malt Scotch.
The blended malt part made me think
Yeah.
there were multiple malts.
Yeah,
in it.
blended
Okay, I got you,
is
I got you.
a blending of different Scotches.
Okay.
This one is Monkey Shoulder. It is a blend of Glenfiddich, one I can't really pronounce, Kininvie, and Balvenie, which Balvenie is my absolute favorite. So if somebody does not care to pour us all about a shot worth in our glasses,
A finger.
about a finger, don't drink it yet. Just pour it in there.
Okay.
I
We're gonna
volunteer
do
as tribute.
Is
an official tasting.
Is this our first taste test on the
Yes.
show?
Don't smell it. Don't taste it. Don't anything.
How did it take us this long to
We
do
tasted
some
frozen
kind of-
fruit from him once.
Oh, yeah.
Truth.
We did. Never mind. Okay.
So when you get it in your glass, just sit it on your table and don't do nothing with it.
What made you choose Monkey Shoulder?
I wanted to try something new, and I knew what it was a blend of. It was a blend of two of my favorite scotches, Balvenie and Glenfiddich. So I was like, I'm going to like this, even if no one else does.
Well, you see, the thing is, even if I hate the taste of it, I can drink it really quick, and I can try it again, and it might not taste so bad. That's what whiskey's like for people.
We'll see.
Right.
We're not going to shoot it.
Oh,
We're gonna fancy taste it, just like
Sipping on
the
it?
fancy whiskey boys.
Are you going to teach us how?
I am.
a little bit.
So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna smell the nose. So you get it close to your face. When it starts to get sharp, stop, and you're just gonna smell and see what it smells like.
Smells like alcohol.
Yeah, kind of fruity,
Fruity.
I'm a smoker. I can't smell nothing.
little smoky.
Smoky. I do get smoky. I don't get fruity, though.
a little nutty.
I don't drink enough alcohol for me to get past that, though. You know, like that's the
Understand.
forward thing
Yeah.
for me. But I know the more you drink it, the more like on the back side of it, the actual alcohol.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just smell it a few more times, and it'll kind of soften the alcohol smell. And you'll, because when you first smell it and it's intensely alcohol smelling, that is alcohol vapors actually evaporating out of your beverage.
Is that why people swirl it?
Sometimes that's just seeing the legs to see how thick it is.
Legs.
Yeah, that's where it's mainly done with wine.
Okay.
It'll leave little trails down the side of your glass.
Yes.
And it's
Oxygenates it, right?
it does that, and I'm not a huge proponent of wine, but there's several reasons. But whiskey don't typically do that. So now let's all just take a taste.
Just a
don't just enough to get the taste in your
Do I
mouth.
swallow it immediately or do I leave it in there?
Whatever.
Do I spit? Okay.
Okay. So that'll get it kind of in your throat and your sinuses, kind of acclimate you to the taste.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that supposed to be a peanut butter and banana whiskey?
No. And now on the second taste, you'll get more of the notes of what it tastes like. So let's take a little second drink.
Yeah.
Okay, for the second drink.
So it kind of softened it and was a little smoother.
Okay.
So what are we tasting? Like what do you taste when you try this?
It has a sweet back.
Yeah. The description is fruits like apricots and things like that, some butterscotch, some vanilla, and a little bit of smoke.
I have a terrible palate.
Yeah.
What do you taste, Marcus?
Alcohol. No, I mean, I definitely get hints of things.
Yeah.
But I just can't identify it. You know what I mean?
It's definitely something you have to practice in order to do.
Yeah.
With anything, be it food or alcohol or whatever. And I actually have a little bit of water here. It may or may not do it with this one because I've never done it. So some scotches and whiskeys, they have more oils in it. So 2 little drops of water will bring those oils to the surface and will give you a better taste of what's in it. So we'll take us a little straw and put just 2 little drops of water in there.
Really?
Yep.
For what?
It'll open it up and enhance the flavors that are in there, and it'll bring those oils to the surface. If it just waters it down, then it's not one that you can do that with.
I like how you say oils.
Yeah. I mean, it's what it is, oils.
I'm bad at this.
Use your pee-pee. Pee-pee in it.
That was 3 drops.
What
I
if you
saw it.
pee-peed
I mean, that's okay. We have
counted.
way more than I actually anticipated anyway.
What if
so.
you pee-peed in it, though?
Okay, do I need to swirl it first?
Mm-mm.
Just drink it.
Just drink it because that'll remix it. Yeah, it did. Made it a little more intense, a little more bitey.
Oh, geez.
It's counterintuitive how it does that.
That's weird.
Yeah, it doesn't work with every whiskey. Like some of the cheaper stuff, like I said, this has more oil due to the age and the whiskeys that are involved, so it made it a little more intense.
What about the first time someone ever had whiskey or made it? Like, that's a lot of patience to try something that might not work out.
Absolutely.
4 years of putting something in a barrel and then going, I'm going to put that in my mouth now.
Absolutely.
A little risky.
Kind of funny, this one right here, it's called Monkey Shoulder.
Yes, it is.
Which, it's like, wide monkey shoulder? Well,
Pirate.
no, back in the day in, Scotland, when they would mix the barley, it was a man. He would spend all day with a pitchfork mixing that barley while it's malting, which is basically you're tricking it to grow and sprout. And so they would get injuries and strain on the one shoulder, causing them to have like this staggery thing, like one shoulder's higher than the other. And they called it monkey shoulder. Hence the name of this particular whiskey.
It had nothing to do with pirates at all.
It did not. It had to do with horrible working conditions.
Yeah. Well, at least they got it named after him, so that's nice.
Absolutely.
I don't really like water in my whiskey. It gives my body a tremble.
Maybe that could be
didn't
all
like
the
how it
food we just
intensified?
consumed as well.
Huh?
Didn't like how it intensified it.
Yeah, I don't really like that.
Yeah,
because
the next drink will be more mellow because you've drunk the oils off the top.
I already took the next drink. I'll take another next drink.
So what do y'all think of Monkey Shoulder? I rather enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's good. I don't
There's something there
Yeah.
that I don't like. You know that feeling you're going to get like right before you throw up?
Yeah.
That's in there.
That's in there.
That's in there.
That's just whiskey in general.
weird.
That's whiskey in
No,
general,
there's
yeah.
other whiskeys.
Yeah,
that don't
but
do
say
that.
I've had some good whiskey. Maybe it's just that it's a Scotch. Maybe I'm not
Maybe
the biggest
that's
fan of
it.
Scotch.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, some people are not fans of Scotch, and that's fine.
I think it's the Scotch.
This definitely has a high percentage of Glenfiddich because I can pick that out right away. Because Glenfiddich has that kind of sharp taste. So when you first get it, it's kind of like biting the tip of your tongue. That's definitely the Glenfiddich that's in it.
So when I've pronounced it Glenfiddich, I've been wrong for a very long time.
Yes.
That sucks. That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
You idiot.
I know I'm stupid.
Now you know what it's like to be me.
Yeah.
Always mispronouncing stuff.
Yeah.
Honey, thank you for sharing with us your
welcome.
Scotch. It was wonderful.
That was that.
Even though it did give me that feeling in my mouth of, am I gonna? No, I'm not gonna.
Well, I mean, not everybody has to like the same type of scotches or even like scotch.
yeah, exactly.
You know, the main rules to drinking whiskey is drink whatever whiskey you want and drink it however the you want.
Kentucky Tavern.
I mean, if you can do those two things,
You're
everybody
doing
will
it
be happy.
right. You're doing it right.
Now, everybody who has whiskey left, finish your whiskey right now. Shoot it, shoot it,
No.
shoot it, shoot it,
Well,
shoot it, shoot it, shoot it.
verbalize it. But also the third rule, which is kind of unspoken, is if it's Scotch and has an E in whiskey, don't drink it. Other than that, just enjoy whatever you want to drink.
Well, now that we're all liquored up, I think that we should bring our minds together for just a minute. I have been communing with an artificial intelligence.
Oh, boy.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So, you know, sometimes I like to make music and stuff like that, but lyrics are always so hard to come up with. So, I don't know, I found this, like I said, an artificial intelligence online to kind of help generate some lyrics for us, and I figured that we could kind of, I don't know, read over them and try them out and see what this artificial intelligence is trying to tell us. Much in the tradition of our Southern Poetry episode. If you haven't heard that one, you should go check that one out. It's really funny. And I wanted to recreate that, but yet put my own spin on it. So, are y'all ready to help me?
I'm
Yes.
so ready. I want to
Okay.
help you. Let me help you.
Well, first of all, I don't know, how should we go about this? Because I mean, I feel like y'all have got all the information. I've sent you. Let me just say this: this artificial intelligence. I got pretty creative with some of the keywords to put in to generate some of this stuff.
Okay.
But some of it just didn't recognize, so I maybe at some point find a better one. But this one's pretty good. I think it's got some good
Sneak
messages.
peek of the one you sent to me.
Okay, it's a little lead in.
Heard that Windscrum asked you, you say nothing about it. I heard that Windscrum asked you, you say nothing about it. I heard that Windscrum asked you, you say nothing about it. Scrum, smile if I'm flawn it. You sing just a little short of the ocean, but you gotta keep going. The Scrum asks too many questions, they all wanna click up. If you feel lonely, if you think your friends have forgot you, if you feel like some Scrum forgot that you were alive. I heard that Windscrum ask you, you say nothing about it. I heard the Windscrum ask you, you say nothing about it. I heard the Windscrum ask you, you say nothing about it. Scrum, smile if I flaunt it. Scrum always talk about the new generation. Why am I so lonely in your arms? I heard the Windscrum ask you, you say nothing about it. I heard the Windscrum ask you, you say nothing about it. I heard the Windscrum ask you, you say nothing about it. Scrum, smile if I flaunt it.
Yes. It's too good.
We've already got one successful one.
Oh, damn.
Okay.
While
Are
we're
these-
paused, I'm gonna go pee.
Okay. Yeah, we can pause.
Okay. So, I'm thinking about Tiny's rap song. And I just opened my lyrics because I was going to try to rap them. But this isn't a rap song.
Read them to us.
This is an emo song. Sometime the air I breathe is sitting on your neck. I love the way you hide under my foreskin. And I love your tender kiss. Your feeling on my foreskin. Pre-chorus. I can't forget the night we met. It made a fire out of my heart and head. Chorus. Sweet dreams on my foreskin. Sweet dreams on my foreskin. Sweet dreams on my foreskin. Oh, he shows me my full worth. Second verse. I'm not going to keep singing that.
Oh god,
Hold
that's
your-
so good.
Hold your breath and feel the lightning on your foreskin. Feel me closer as we collide into space. Your smile, the touch of your lips, the smell of your foreskin, on the taste of your kiss.
It is so musky. Oh, God.
I love the way your foreskin compares to mine. To me, where an arrow points and you always leave me space. Oh my God. Oh, back to the best part. Sweet dreams on my foreskin. Sweet dreams on my foreskin. Last one higher. Sweet dreams on my foreskin. Oh, he shows me my full worth.
Oh my God.
Okay, Dane, your turn.
This whiskey tastes like foreskin.
It's a little bit musty.
A little bit musky.
Oh my goodness.
No. Yeah, you're gonna have to make a. You have to make a song for that one. That's just on the fly. That was too
We'll
good.
see. That's good. That's amazing. I couldn't have hoped for any better, honestly.
It was just
Are you ready for yours, Dane?
Well, hold on, man. I got to get the rest of that laugh out.
God, I know, but my throat is closing into itself.
Yeah, and my eyes are watering. I can't see.
Oh, dude.
No, am I supposed to wrap this now?
Would you like to try?
I can give it a go.
Why don't you just?
I can
give
give
a try.
it.
You can
Let's
cut
just
it
see
out
what
if you want.
happens. Sure.
Just so we have it.
God, you sound the alarm. God, yes, you are the pain. Hate, lust, crush my heart, and I fail. I saw it peen when she said to me, all the stars peen down on your head now. Gotta make it right now. I can feel you coming down, like a peen through the snow, like a peen with a peen. I know exactly what to do. I want to lift that mask that protects you so you cannot hurt anymore. Sometimes a man swings a peen of love. Sometimes a man swings a peen of love. Now some woman, she has 4 mouths. Every man have a peen 4 hands. Put your peen on the Glock. Not a big fan of a gun. Not a big fan of a gun. Not a big fan of a gun. Put your peen on the Glock. Not a big fan of the gun. I can feel you coming down like a peen through the snow, like a peen with a peen. I know exactly what to do. I want to lift that mask to protect you so you cannot hurt anymore. Peen and tiger saw. Tear off more than you can chew. I can feel you coming down like a peen through the snow, like a peen with a peen. I know exactly what to do. I want to lift that mask to protect you so you cannot hurt anymore.
I long for your sin on my foreskin. I long for your smell on my lips.
I can feel you coming down like a peen through the snow, like a peen with a peen. I know. I can feel you coming down like a peen through the snow, like a peen. I know.
Sweet dreams on my foreskin. Sweet dreams on my foreskin.
Heard the wind scrum ask you, you say nothing about it. Heard the wind scrum ask you, you say nothing about it. Heard the wind scrum ask you, you say nothing about it. Scrum smiling and flaunting it.
I can feel you coming down like a peen through the snow, like a peen through the snow. I can feel you coming down like a peen through the snow, like a peen through the snow. I can feel you coming down like a peen through the snow, like a peen through the snow.
The steam just a little short of the ocean. You gotta keep them going. Scrum asks too many questions. They all want to click up.
I love how your foreskin compares to mine. Oh, boys. Oh, boys. If Lil Dicky calls us tomorrow, he wants our heads.
And just so you all know, we have just copywritten these songs. Do not steal them.
Oh, damn.
Oh my God.
Especially the mashup.
So good. Some of mine worked for the beat.
Oh, that was great.
Some
That
of
was
it
amazing.
didn't.
I mean, we can move on unless you want to hear one more.
I'd love to hear one more. Give me one
Absolutely.
more. I'll shorten my segment for this. I don't care.
Oh, God, where am I? Okay, here we go. Sick of girls that feces their damn time. Sick of girls that feces their damn time. Because neither one of us feces a day of my life. So I go to feces before I believe in you. My head is on a pile of feces. My head is on a pile of feces. Whoa. My head is on a pile of feces. Whoa. My head is on a pile of feces. So much lies we have to swallow about a life where all seems feces. I hope you're feeling fine. The best you gave me so far. Sit down here. Sit down here. Seems like such a feces. My head is on a pile of feces. My head is on a pile of feces. Whoa. My head is on a pile of feces. Whoa. Oh my God. I feel like such a douche right now. Oh God. Spirits get stuck when I feces, no remorse. Feeling like when I hit the stand. My head is on a pile of feces.
Lord, that has a Marshall Mathers LP kind of feel to it. Like it needs something behind it, like a.
Yeah. So I guess there's no telling what on earth the AI is trying to tell us with all of that.
I don't know,
but I think we've created a couple of earworms.
Absolutely.
So I'm totally happy with the first edition of this topic that's as yet unnamed.
I love it.
But it will come back at some point for sure.
The grapes of
man.
wrath.
I can't even laugh again. Or I'll
Grape
die.
along.
The grapes of rap? Is
Grape
that what you
along.
said?
Oh, the grapes of rap.
Yeah.
But I was thinking we would do different genre each time too.
Yeah. No,
grape
we'll do that.
along with us.
Even though, see, maybe we should make it a little bit more organic next time because you kind of came up with your own song, which was awesome, and then we all sang
Absolutely.
it. So
Yeah, it still works with the music.
I mean,
too.
I'm going to be singing that "Sweet Dreams of My Foreskin" probably for the next 3 days.
he shows me my worth.
I mean, I'll be in the back of the church. Sweet dreams on my foreskin.
Hallelujah.
Pastor be like, Austin?
And I'd be at home. I feel a tingle on the back of my neck, and yes, Father.
Speaking of tingle, I got a Peter tingle. It's a Spider-Man joke from the newer movies.
and also, no, never mind. Go ahead.
No, please.
No, it's okay.
Did it have to do with a pee-pee?
Sorry.
The rest
Sorry,
of
I'm
the
still
rest of the
stuck.
episode did.
I'm
so.
still stuck in that gutter. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
I can't
Stay
get
there.
out.
I don't care. Stay there. I've recently watched the newest Spider-Man movie, No Way Home, and zero spoilers because we aren't going to talk about that movie specifically because it's still way too early. Many people still need to watch it, including 2 people a part of this podcast. And it is just immaculate. It is wonderful.
I've heard great things from
there's-
every single person that I know.
There is not a
That's
moment
seen it.
wasted in it. Like it from beginning to end, it is one scene after another of please give me more of this. Like the whole time. And it switches it up throughout the thing too. It's not just the same, usual comic booky thing happening over and over again. It mixes things up so well. And it's an amazing movie. Please go see it.
I would go watch it again with everybody here.
Oh, absolutely.
We should.
Yeah.
We should do that.
I would love to. But it also got me thinking as I left the theater, just on the way home and texting people of like just naming moments after moments of the movie that were just so phenomenal. I got to thinking of DC movies, and
I'm sorry.
it sucks because I'm more of a DC fan when it comes to the physical comic books. Like I've read infinitely more DC comics than Marvel, and I love them dearly. But when it comes to WB putting them on the big screen, it's just not working out. Like and even if it is, like, although Man of Steel, it was different to me than any other DC movie that they've done, any other Superman movie they've done, and it was, to me, one of my favorite movies ever. But besides it, Shazam stands out a little bit to me because it was different. It was more lighthearted than a lot of the other ones, a lot of the more grim, darky kind of feel.
See?
And the Zack Snyder version of the Justice League is, pretty memorable to me too. But we had to get an extended version of a movie that was released in theaters for it to be of any count. And that's disappointing. And for me to only be able to think of 3 DC movies that stand out to me as memorable compared to everything that's happened in the Marvel universe as far as on the big screen. Like, there's no comparison, and I'm trying to figure out why. Like, what is missing? Is it heart? Like, I feel like the DC movies maybe don't have as much heart to them.
I couldn't guess, but my main theory would be that it was just too much like committee decision making. And I mean, they're trying to catch up with Marvel at this point. You know, they're seeing that, oh, well, this is a viable $1 billion cash cow that we could have here on our hands. So why don't we put all these characters, these beloved characters, on the screen? And now, like next month, like 6 months, like as quick as possible.
Yeah.
And so that's why you don't even really get like standalone movies before you already get the Justice League.
Right.
Well, I feel like in a lot of ways that's right because Marvel started producing a lot of movies sooner, and most of the Marvel movies, in my opinion, are not that dark and gritty, whereas a lot of the DC stories are. So when they first started coming out, I don't feel like the modern audience was quite ready for it, and the producers and directors didn't quite know what to do with the darkness of those stories.
Well, the thing is, you can be dark and gritty and be successful, but it's just not a successful dark and gritty to me. Like, it's like the punches have been pulled.
Yeah,
to where
right.
it's not.
Yeah,
if
I
you're
mean,
gonna do that,
Then go for it.
you got to get in the filth. Like, you gotta go there and not be afraid of it.
But it's like they're trying to have that. Well, I think the Snyder look, like he wanted it to be darker, and you know that was just kind of his style. But yet he's kind of been made to pull some punches, and maybe he wants to, pull some punches to make it more appealing to a wider audience.
Well, but I feel like they stopped pulling punches when they did the Joker movie that came out, because that was one of the darkest, grittiest movies I've ever seen. One of the most fantastic movies I've ever seen, and I'm probably only going to watch it the one singular time.
Same.
Because there was so much feels and so much heart in that movie that you felt bad for the Joker and everything that he went through, and you kind of understood how he got to where he went. And it was just watching a man slowly spiral down the drain and losing his mind. And it was.
I had that same connection with Clark from Man of Steel. Like, you got to see someone just trying to be a hero. They have no idea how to do that. And in their first real fight ever with something, like, they end up having to kill them, and that's not something they've ever wanted to do and never will do again. And they destroy a city in the process. Like, it's this trial and error he's having to go through in the moment. And if he doesn't win, mankind is done for. Like, the stakes were so high and he went through so much. And I feel like that movie did a great job of portraying his kind of, I don't know, his journey through that fight and through the end of it actually becoming Superman. But just with DC movies, like, we can think of these moments, but I can think of, like, even everybody's beloved Batman series, the Christopher Nolan Batmans. I mean, there's a couple moments, I guess, but overall, like, the first movie and the third movie, I've, like, not very memorable to me. And yet every Spider-Man movie, whether I liked it or hated it, like Spider-Man 3, it's still in my head. Like, it still sticks there because even though it wasn't any good, it's still memorable, and they're able to do something. Like, Marvel has this I don't know, this finger on the pulse of nerd culture to where they're able to go, okay, well, this can be funny and devastating stuff can happen. And then a few scenes later, we can have you laughing again to kind of clear up the tears. And then later on, we can hit you again.
Yeah.
Well, they did something. They had several tries at this,
right?
To where every DC movie that has been made with specific characters in mind, they've been mainline things. They haven't slipped under the radar. They don't go unnoticed. Superman movie comes out, it'll make you believe a man can fly.
Oh yeah,
like, it's set up to this grandiose hype. To whereas Iron Man came out to establish the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Iron Man came out, and they kind of took an all-in shot at trying one of these things out. Like, let's make this just as well as we can and establish this as a cliffhanger to have a continuing universe attached to it. Let's see how it goes.
Brilliant.
Into
and
orbit.
they had time for the audiences to get to know their characters and and all this before they have these big ensemble.
But all
movies.
of that came down to planning and preparation,
Mm-hmm.
because the
and source
first
material.
yes, because they had the first movie to come out in the MCU established the continuity of the rest of the MCU.
I kind of remember like when Disney bought Marvel, correct? Like, didn't they just buy Marvel?
Yeah.
And so they've probably got a lot of in-house Marvel people working on these projects, like in the writers' rooms and things like that, and like, you know, these character bibles, like, you know, with everything there is to know about a certain character. And I wonder if it's the same in DC. Like, I wonder if people who've written DC comics for 25, 30 years are helping with the movies and things, and if they're being listened to and having their opinions like actually matter.
That's the thing. Like even if like the initial taping of the film does have them involved and them making decisions and going, yes, this scene needs to happen here. This scene needs to be this long because we need this moment in it. This small little moment of where they look at one another for this amount of time needs to happen for the next scene to matter. That's where the studio decides to chop and screw the whole thing,
Right.
and ruin it from what they wanted it to initially be. And I think that, which is crazy to think that Disney leaves it more to the creators than WB would, because like you think Disney would just be like the overlords of the whole situation of, no, you absolutely cannot have this in that. We got to take this away, and then them be the ones to chop and screw it. But that seems like they don't, because when you look at even, I know Star Wars is a totally different topic, but I mean, it is Disney. They're letting like Kevin Feige?
Yes.
Feige is what I've heard.
Kevin Feige?
That's what I've heard.
Sure.
I don't know.
I thought it was food.
Yeah, plague. But they're kind of letting him do that. Like, and it doesn't seem like Disney is really stepping on his toes with it. But and then part of me thinks also maybe because with DC we've had the Justice League, and there's not that many main characters in the Justice League. I mean, they call them like what there's the big three of Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman, but then Green Lantern, Flash. Those are really the main ones that people know, unless they've watched like animated series and read comics and things like that.
Yeah.
So I guess the pool for them to choose from is kind of shallow compared to all the characters that have been in the Avengers and stuff like that. Marvel seems to have more like Fantastic Four, which they still can't make a good movie of.
Well, Marvel has shown that they can take just some like side character like that nobody cares about and make it a multi-million-dollar movie.
Are you talking about Aquaman?
Well, no,
No,
I'm
he's
talking about
also
like
main
Guardians of the
Justice
Galaxy. Like,
Yeah.
you know, this. I mean, they weren't household names before
No,
Disney made the
not at
movies,
all.
and then once they make the movies, now they are. Now they're right beside Thor and Iron Man, and I mean, they have that going on right now.
Well, see, and I think that's something that DC's afraid of doing, because they won't choose some random up in that poster we have in this room.
Yeah.
They won't pick somebody out of the back of it, like Mr. Miracle. He's an incredible character, like in comics. Like he can escape anything. And
Dr. Fate.
Dr. Fate is insanely cool.
It's one
The
of the-
helmet with all the magical powers.
One of the strongest.
Azrael.
Huh?
Azrael.
From the Batman series?
Yeah. Well, I mean, he had his own little short run thing
yeah.
too.
Oh,
But
yeah. He's a cool
there's
character.
There's this infinite pool of characters to choose from, and it feels like they're scared
Punisher.
because
No,
Tiny.
that's-
That guy.
No, Tiny.
That's
But-
that's not correct.
But I think it is because
little drunk.
Marvel is standing there so tall that DC's like, well, we can't really risk going with this, because if it fails, then that just puts us one step lower on
Yeah,
Marvel.
they've
like
had
against
a
Marvel,
couple
but
of skids.
and I don't know how you don't compare yourself, because that's the thing a lot of people say as well.
Right.
They keep comparing themselves to Marvel and trying to do what Marvel's doing. How do you not, when in comic books you've been compared to one another your entire existence?
Well, I feel like they've done really good with like their like TV shows and Netflix shows for the most part. Like Arrow, I really loved it until like the last season or two. It started off so good. Supergirl
Yeah, Supergirl's good.
is awesome.
I like that.
Titans, really
I've
good.
not seen
Doom
that.
Patrol, really
Punisher's awesome.
That's
good.
Marvel.
Tiny Punisher. No,
I know,
it's Marvel.
I'm just
Okay,
playing.
I think.
There's a couple more. I can't think of them at the moment. Is
Smallville.
Black Lightning DC?
Yes.
Yeah, that one was great.
Superman and Lois. We just got just the first episode of that was like a
So
what
good. We did
hell?
not expect that at all.
No.
Like, because of how it's been set up for us. Because there's a formula to these TV shows, for superhero TV shows. There is a formula, and it starts off with baddie of the week, and then it builds up to a thing where now there's a baddie that's going to last a little bit longer than a week. And then you have an overarching kind of storyline that kind of hovers, from the seasons on, past the first season. And it's like a formula. And then CW does a lot of them. That's like with Arrow and Smallville and Supergirl. And they have, you can not even see the CW logo.
Yeah.
And it's a CW show because there is a certain formula they have to follow, where they have to put these like senseless romance situations in there, to where there are plenty of romance situations that make perfect sense with the story and is crucial to that story, but they'll just kind of just hammer some in there just so they get that CW. I don't even know what it
has to appeal to the hormone raging tweens.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They're
has to give guys like me hope.
They're choosing too wide of an audience when they need to just dial in on who loves these characters, make it successful, and that will bring others in.
You got 14-year-old girls screaming at Sam and Dean Winchester and Jensen Ackles.
And you screamed.
I didn't scream.
I heard you
It's not
scream their names.
DC.
Actually,
Well,
I'm starting to taste this
also,
fruit, by
I
the way.
don't like Supernatural.
just and
It
he's like,
started off so good, but then it got real crappy.
I love you. Oh my God, Sam, you're so handsome. I'm 40. Quit it.
But my segment doesn't really have an end to it per se, because I don't think there is an answer. I just know there's a problem, and I just wanted to kind of talk about that.
You were asking, like, you think that there's no way for them not to compare themselves. Well, I think they've kind of realized that, and like when they did the Joker, I think it was such a hit, and they were just kind of baffled by that. Like, I don't know, it almost seems like these big studios just can't wrap their heads around like what people will go to the movies to see. Like, except every now and then we'll get a Spider-Man Far From Home.
Yeah.
And everybody goes to the theater to see it.
Not everybody.
But they can't figure out what that formula is, and that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to quantify that, and that's what they're doing. But what they need to do is just find the best creative team you possibly can and let them be creative.
Yes.
I feel like that's the four of us, because we've written some pretty good stuff so far.
Absolutely. I get worked up about it, and I've been worked up about it since I saw Spider-Man.
But
And I
maybe
needed to
they
vent.
go for these little more like standalone, heartfelt one. More heartfelt movies, like with the new Robert Pattinson Batman coming up. Like, maybe it'll be really good.
I hope it is.
And the Joaquin Phoenix Joker. Like, maybe they kind of go for more of like an anthology style, and where each movie is its own standalone. Like, doesn't have to connect to each other.
Please.
I would love it.
Stop making shit connect. It don't have to all connect and be in a universe. They can be independent movies.
But you see, what they're going to do is they're going to reset the timeline in the Flash movie, and then my hope is that the Joaquin Phoenix Joker gets to stay in its own area and not have to touch the rest of the universe.
Are you saying Joaquin or walking?
Walking.
That's what I thought. Walking.
Yeah.
Like a bird that's too full of poop to fly.
Yeah, walking.
Okay.
Walking Phoenix. It's
When they made Joker, they made it the way they did because they separated it from an overall universe.
Yeah.
They did it anthology style, like you said.
Yeah.
And even, in comics, there are, like, the way they're released. There's the main line of the main story, the canon story and everything. And then there are Elseworlds. There are side stories. There are just
Reboots.
There are reboots. There are even like stories that aren't necessarily canon, but are, that character. Like and they do it all the time. Like, I have my bookshelf is filled with them of totally different Supermen, like through all these different books.
I also think
not?
they're also thinking about the mass market. They're not just thinking about fans. They're thinking about, how is this 67-year-old lady who's never heard of Cyborg going to be confused in Joaquin Phoenix's Joker movie? Why is she watching this one? Yeah, I think they're afraid of confusing people,
Well,
too.
see, here's my thought. Appeal to the audience that you have. Like, there is let's just take Batman, for instance, okay? Not that all the Batman movies sucked. There's a lot of them that did. But appeal to your fans that are loyal to you. They're going to drag people kicking and screaming to watch this bullshit with them. And then you get more fans that way. Whereas if you do some mass appeal thing that tries to bring in soccer moms and football dads, you water it down for the true fans and everyone else. And then the people that do come in to watch are going to be like, this is what you like? This is dumb.
Right.
Because it's watered down filth.
Yeah.
Appeal to your fans. They will bring new fans.
Well, just
if
look what
you build it, they will come.
Just look what they did with this
Correct.
new Spider-Man movie, though. It's like, you can't get more nerdy than having a time wizard come in and... Well, sorry, my bad.
Cool.
My
Spoiler
bad.
alerts. Thank you.
I mean, who didn't know this?
I didn't. I had
Who
seen nothing about this movie, and you wrecked it. Now, I'm not even going to watch it, probably. Dadgummit, Marcus. Why would he be in it? It's
He just is.
Spider-Man.
Okay, it's part of it.
He's just in the poster.
I'm so upset now. I
So-
did so good,
So
and Marcus wrecked it.
So what?
Thank you.
What I want to
You're
see
welcome.
though, I want to see the DC universe get reset and get Robert Pattinson's Batman into the main canon.
I'd
and
rather
that-
have Batfleck.
And I do as well,
Love
but
Batfleck.
Ben Affleck said that he is done with IP
I know. and
characters.
Gosh.
But I want to see Joker just mysterious. You don't need an origin story of the Joker anymore. You know how the Joker's come to be. You don't have to question that anymore. Willem Dafoe as the Joker.
Oh,
That would be cool.
that man.
The-
He can play a crazy person.
Can you
so
tell me-
well.
He would do really well.
Imagine a darker version of the Joker played by Willem Dafoe. You wouldn't sleep at night.
Or why don't we just let Mark Hamill do it by this point? Honestly, I think he could do a pretty good job.
Sure.
True.
Make him an old one.
Or Gary Busey as the Penguin. 'Cause why not?
Now we're talking. No, we got to get Danny DeVito back in there.
Gary Busey as Two-Face,
yeah.
please.
Okay, I'm good with that.
Yeah, Two-Face.
That
perfect.
would work.
Oh, perfect.
One of his faces is just his
All the
teeth.
Batman villains are just old farts now.
Yes.
And they're just like still mad, but they can't do anything about it.
It's perfect.
Ooh, old
perfect.
retired nursing home Batman.
I am vengeance. I am the
Bring the bat wheelchair. Bring the bat chair.
Alfred.
Alfred's been dead for 30
Alfred.
years.
Alfred, I've shit
Alfred, come in.
again. Alfred. Alfred.
I'm coming, Alfred.
I need a bat diaper, Alfred.
I'm coming, Alfred.
bat
Save me
diaper.
a spot in heaven.
Poor old Mr. Wayne.
The bat diaper has like his yellow belt around it too, like his yellow bat belt.
Poor old Mr. Wayne. He thinks that he's Batman, and I just don't know why he would ever have that kind of delusion.
And I think we're podcasters, but I don't know why I'd ever find that delusion. Maybe it's because everyone enjoyed this episode of Nerded Through the Grapevine. Thank you all for listening on both iTunes and Spotify. And on iTunes and Spotify, you can give us ratings now. Spotify just came out where you can do a star rating system on it. And it's super easy. It's just on the right underneath our logo on the top left, little album art. There's a little thing there that says... it may say not rated yet because I don't think we have many just yet because it just came out the other day. So if you click that and you click 5 stars, it makes us happy. And it may make us appear on more things for people to listen to us. It'll be a lot of fun. If you're on iTunes, please do the usual 5-star rating there and write a little thing telling people how much you enjoy the show or what you think the show is about. Because just because it's a podcast where 4 best friends gather weekly to talk about our favorite parts of past, present, future, and our culture, it doesn't always really go that way. So you can tell other people what it is also. And Teespring, link in the description. Go buy some stuff with all that Christmas money you just got.
And if you wanted to make sure that they knew about our Emmy-winning song, Sweet Dreams on My Foreskin, make sure you tell everybody on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram by getting on at Nerd Grapevine and leaving us a little comment or maybe liking some stuff on there. And if you wanted to go to Patreon, go to Best Friends period Tiny Ink period on Patreon and donate a little bit, and you'll get a holographic sticker and unlocked future content we couldn't let you hear originally. Because if we did, that would give Tiny a setup so he can mess up the thing I was going to say about.
What would that cause us if I messed up your setup?
You just messed up my setup. You missed the word. The word I was waiting for in my pause was Discord.
Well, if you want, you can take one of our stickers and put it on your foreskin with your sweet dreams, because sweet dreams are made of these. Who am I to disagree? Hop on the Discord day after Christmas, and we're going to be streaming live the Star Wars Christmas special. You're not going to hear this until after Christmas, that doesn't even matter. Hit us up on Discord anyway. You watched the Star Wars Christmas special with us the day after Christmas. Wasn't that a great time? So check out our memes and talk to us live and uncut and uncensored. And it's just a wonderful time. Also, there's a Malcolm Head channel if you're into that.
Malcolm got eaten by spiders.
No.
I don't know if you know this.
Malcolm's
I'm
been on
so
vacation.
glad.
He'll be back.
I mean, last we heard, didn't he go play Cinderfoot without us?
All the spiders kept him afloat. He couldn't go down.
We got to go check the pond.
Well, we've reached that time of the episode. Austin. When life
Sandwiched it.
You hold them up next to your face and ask your friends to compare colors to your face. Is my face? Breathe. Is my face this purple? Judging by the maturity of the grape will also determine how much oxygen you have in your head. Sweet dreams on my foreskin.